All right, we're live on Everything Black. We got Regina, we got rock music, and you got myself, Frank Blanton. We're gonna go in. We're gonna talk about tonight are black women out of sync with black men. That's the subject. So we're gonna start this video and talk about it.
Joins us today in our studio, and of course we'd like to welcome you today to Vibrations.
Well, thank you, Raven, for inviting me.
Basically, it's your premise that the black woman is out of sync with the natural order of things. Can you explain that?
Well, it's a very sensitive subject, and certainly I believe that I have tried to approach it from a very sensitive angle. What I have actually said is that the black woman's disrespect and rebellion against the leadership and the authority of the black man is a direct cause of the breakdown in the black family structure. It's not an attack on us as black women. It's just saying that in the breakdown of any relationship, both parties have to take responsibility. And as black women, we have been protected and insulated from any kind of examination about what our share of the responsibility is in the breakdown of the black family. My book represents the first platform, certainly, that the black man has ever had to air his grievances about the black woman, because no one would ever listen to him. They have only listened to us.
Can you tell us a little bit about the book itself? What brought you to this point of having to sit down and use your pen to write this book?
Well, actually, it was my first book. In 1985, I authored How Not to Eat Pork or Life Without the Pig. And at that time, I was going around doing what I was calling Get Off That Hog lectures. And during my travels, I noted that I would take the microscope and show people how you can't kill the trichina worm in pork by cooking it. Heat was not destroying the worm, and I would show them, the difference, and demonstrate how FDA was now using radiation to try to kill the worms in pork because cooking was not working, which is what we had always been told. And during that time, a lot of black men were in agreement to get off eating pork. They wanted to change their eating habits, and they were happy to find out some information that might possibly save their lives. But it was black women who were the most adamant, who refused to change meal planning techniques, seasoning food, cooking techniques. And so I said, it's interesting. I said, if we are refusing to provide the black man with the proper physical food, when we know that food is what sustains life, then what else are we withholding from him? Possibly there's some other areas, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, that we are affecting his behavior by what we do or what we withhold and refuse to give. And that led me to try to find out. We've always heard that the black man leaves the black family, abandons his woman and children, won't take care of the children, won't work, stays out all night, turns into a drunk, takes drugs. We've heard a lot of negative things. Most of them are true. But I wanted to find out what happens before he gets to that point. What leads up to the breakdown? We've never gone back to try to find out what happens in the relationship between the black man and a black woman that makes him go off and do all of these bad things. To assume that this is just normal, natural behavior for black men would be to assume that he is naturally bad. And I do not believe that the man that God gave to us as a mate is a naturally bad person. And so I wanted to try to examine.
Okay. All right. Now, I want to ask the question, did y'all hear that last part where she wants to examine the ideal of how did we all get where we are now between us, the out of syncness of black women and black men. So, Regina, since you're the first and only lady on the show tonight, we're going to let you go first. And make your comment about that, then we'll move on further in the video.
Well, I don't know how we probably got out of sync. I mean, I'm not even sure if we was really just completely in sync in the first place. But she started off with the reason why she made the book, because she was saying that the women always had the people was questioning, and champion against black women and different things like that. And she saw that it wasn't the men. She didn't get it from the men perspective. And she started from, trying to figure out why the women would cook differently for their man. But And she never did get the. She never did say whether did she ask that question or why the women didn't decide that they didn't want to get off pork or anything else like that. And maybe it was because that was the only way they knew how to cook food. They didn't know no other way of doing it. We had only limited resources. It sometimes, even now, this is a recent thing where women have started getting to the point, and Black people as a whole started getting to the point where they wanted to start getting away from pork. So she never did say what she came up with as far as that part. But as far as saying the women and men are out of sync, I think right now, lately, men and women are out of sync because we have a whole bunch of different bad influences when it comes to social media, different things like that. A lot of it is for clickbait. They that's a good topic that people want to get into. You start having this war on who's better or who's against whoever, who got low vibrations, who has this, who has that, different things like that, 50-50. It's just a lot of it. I'm not even sure where the disconnect came from, but I really in my heart of hearts think that the disconnect came from way back when it was slavery, when the men were yanked out of the homes and the women had to stay there and be the protectors, whereas that was not their natural state of being. They had to protect what was left of their families,
right,
or protect what was going on. And men, once they got yanked out the homes and were separated from their families, they were living this life isolated from the woman, and the woman was living isolated from the man. So sometimes we inherit things through our DNA from trauma, and that's a trauma response. That not to get too connected with each other, because something may happen to where one or the other be yanked from that family structure. And I think in some kind of way, it's hard to unlearn something that you have learned from generation to generation.
Okay. All right. We're going to rock music. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, big dog.
All right. What you think about the first? I think that was like the first minute and a half of that video.
Well, like, I ain't gonna lie, man. Me and you be talking on the regular, Frank, and so
yeah.
I don't want to ruffle no feathers, man, but really, what I feel like she trying to say is that even in the beginning, it ain't that the women, kind of like what Miss Gina was saying, even just about the pork situation.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that, in my opinion, they did get in their comfort zone and was like, even though they know it's bad, why are you trying to force them to do something that they're not comfortable doing? And even with this being a part of our heritage, because even from slavery, like, we didn't know that pig was bad because we was known to get the scrap, the leftovers.
Right.
And one of the bigger blessings that we always had was making the scraps look good. Like, we've always been, but now all of a sudden, if you notice, chitlins are classified as a delicacy now. Like, that's so high. Like, so, and that's one of the part of the disgusting pig that you can eat.
Right.
But giving that to Black people due to slavery. But now, just as far as the studies go of the worms and all that, like, he's coming to the conclusion to tell the Black men, this is bad. We shouldn't do this and we shouldn't do that. But now the Black women are looking at her like, and so she's noticing, why y'all rebelling if we're supposed to protect these men?
Right.
So, and that's what she's saying. Like, the issues start coming, and it all stems back. It is slavery, but at the end of the day, a lot of it, and this is my opinion, I could be wrong, I feel like 15% of it is Black men's fault, but 85% is the government fault, because the government made these women feel like you don't need a man to do this. You don't need a man to take care of the household. I'm going to give y'all this government check, and I'm going to do this for y'all, and kick that man out. And the government helped break the destruction of a black man's home by promising a woman, well, you can stay at home. You ain't got to work. You ain't got to take your mate out. I'm going to give you this. You stay at home. But he can't be there. I'm going to give you this money, but he got to go. Or put him in child support. Or do so it's like the government promising women, but it was all systematic. It was all part of the setup. You know what I'm saying? And it's making them believe that they can do it on their own. But it's been proven that it takes a 2-parent household, and some fathers are more or better parents than the mothers. Some fathers that are raising the kids, it's almost like you're having a 2-parent household. So you could either a father does a parenting job better, or it works with both parents. But the government got into the black women's mind and corrupted them, and it's been doing that. Like I said, I was born in the 80s.
Right.
So and it happened way before me. You know what I'm saying? And so the government is making black women feel like, you don't need no man. You don't need no black man. You don't need that. So once you corrupt the mind, and so a lot of women feel like money, they value money more than the values of what a marriage is or what a relationship is or what. Right. So once they put that money in their hand, man, it's a wrap. And, that's just my opinion. I feel like the government corrupted, the bigger portion of the black women to make them think that, they don't need a man. They don't need the black man inside the household. That's just
okay. We got our brother Roderick Preston here tonight.
Hey.
Hadn't seen him in a minute. I'm glad he's here.
What's going
you heard
on?
what Rock said. You heard what Regina said. What do you think, Roderick?
Addressing that was Miss Shahrazad, if I'm not mistaken. Ali.
Yeah.
As far as the disconnect, I mean, everybody, I think, building. I think Regina mentioned we might not have ever been connected in the first place. And so that kind of brings up, she brought up slavery. And then the brother Rock Music, he mentioned, he kind of built off that, and talking about today's, how the government has basically got incentive for a woman to basically not have a man around, and to kind of reverse engineer that, I don't see where there's an incentive to have a family. I don't see where that's the goal. A lot of times I always mention that, like, you can kind of tell how people are dating that they're not really dating with family as a goal. So there's really no emphasis put on family in the dating world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, that's really not the main goal. I was fortunate enough to have my mom, my dad married, and they was, for all of my adult life, up through my adult life. And man, I saw, where I was balanced in some places that a lot of my peers wasn't balanced. And how we also viewed marriage when it came to, our time to become adults. And, a lot of the fellas that I know, my partners, they let that vision go. It was more so like a distant dream, like one day it may happen. And for me, it was just a for sure thing that was supposed to happen. The ultimate thing for me was to be like my daddy. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was the highest honor is for me to be able to have a family like my daddy and be for my future kids to feel that way I felt about my dad. That's the highest for me.
Right.
And we don't have that, for multiple reasons. You know what I mean? And it all links back to what both Regina and Rock Music said. We have a government part playing in that, and also the slavery situation. So there's always been that disconnect, and now the government is incentivizing the disconnect, And at this point, it's kind of like it's not to go on for too long, but it's kind of like it's that the Willie Linton letter kind of syndrome where the damage has been done and now we perpetuate the damage on our own. So now you can look at social media like Regina brought up. You look at the social media and there ain't nothing but foolish clickbait, unrealistic topics being brought up. And while people are single and they entertain those topics, they just kind of breeds, you know what I mean? Breeds more bad ideas that are anti-family and anti-nation building within the Black community.
Right. Okay, I appreciate what you said. And we're going to go back to the video and get some more. And
what goes on with him? What's his side of the story?
Did a Black man ask you to write this book?
Oh, no, certainly not. I think they were just as surprised as Black women. Many of them approached the title of the book with a little apprehension because they have not had a champion. We have never had a Black woman who actually stood up and said, I'm standing up for the Black man's side of the story. We know what our side is. And both sides are true. We have done some very dreadful things to each other. And I don't exonerate Black men, which is kind of a misconception that people have. I just say that we know his side. What about our side? And we do have a side. We have adopted some wrong standards. We are judging our men many times by the wrong value system. We are using his children sometimes against him. We have been told that the only benefit that a Black man provides in a home is money. And if he does not give us money to take care of those kinds of financial provisions, that he has no value. And what my research has proven to me is that a Black man, any man in any home provides much more than financial support. The man provides guidance, instruction, discipline for the children, which we sorely need in our Black homes. He provides gratification, fulfillment, protection. I mean, there's so many other values. And these values are the ones that are missing in our children today, which is why many Black children are in the street, out of control themselves, disrespectful, don't have any regard for any.
We can hear it, but we can't see it.
Nah, we couldn't see Shahrazad no more.
Okay. All right. I'm going to fix that.
And stand by. You've caused a stir. This book is very controversial. What are you hearing from public reaction?
Well, I don't think that it's an issue among Black women about whether or not the book is true or not. The issue is that I was not supposed to tell. These are inside secrets and things that we have never let all men know about. And many times we say? He can't handle me. Well, many times he can't handle us because he doesn't know what it is he's trying to handle. He doesn't understand what motivates us. We have become very adept, many of us, at being able to do something right in front of his eyes and then convince him that that's not what he really saw at all and that it didn't happen. So we've kept him kind of confused.
Excuse me. Do you realize that there are many bookstores, and in particular Black bookstores, that have refused to carry the Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman?
I think that that's been overblown. Right now, the book is carried in over 5,000 bookstores here in this country and about 2,000 abroad. The book is becoming a bestseller in London. And to date, we only know of 2 bookstores in the entire country who refuse to carry the book.
May I tell you that there is at least one in Tallahassee?
There may be, but they're lost if they're doing that.
The response we got from that book owner was that your book had nothing, absolutely nothing constructive.
Was that a woman who gave you those comments?
Yes, it was.
Oh, how surprising. Okay.
Let's talk about some of the things that seem to be upsetting or that people are talking
there
about.
Certainly have been a lot of things taken out of context. Anyone who's ever looked at me or seen, witnessed some of the talk shows, they actually exploit a lot of issues. They take them out of context. They want to sensationalize them to build up their ratings, to have a good show. So I really appreciate this opportunity to just sit down and have a fireside chat about the book.
I'm glad you're
without
here.
all the fireworks and everything.
You say Black women, and I quote you as saying, nag, nag, nag. And that we are essentially responsible for pushing our men away by doing so.
A lot of times, we take a position because of our own emotional mechanisms. We harass our men too much. We nag our men too much. And we keep his mind and his head so bundled up and bogged down with all of our personal idiosyncrasies about our day-to-day personal relationship with him, that a lot of times we don't free his mind up to go out and to plan sanely for our future and for the future of our children. Many of them come to us every day and they almost have to do a wind test. They don't know what's going on. They don't know who they're going to meet, because we have a lot of reactions. We tend to think as Black women that a successful relationship and one where we're happy is one where everything goes our way. And the first time it goes another kind of a way, then we go into hell, turmoil in our brain, and we start deciding, oh, I've got terrible problems with this man. He won't do what I want him to do. When our men have a side.
Let me give that side according to Scheherazade Ali, okay? You say in your book,
okay,
and I'm quoting you, okay? The Black man in America is the only male on earth, including every continent, who is disrespected by the women in his nation.
That's true.
This situation does not exist anyplace else among the billions of people inhabiting our planet except here in America.
That's right.
The other Black men, the yellow men, the red men, the brown men, and the white men are all honored and respected by their respective nations. All other women recognize and accept that the man is the authority, the ruler, and the leader. Only here in the United States, in the Black nation, scattered throughout the United States, is the Black man neglected. That's pretty powerful.
And it's absolutely true. We have been displaced. A lot of us don't really understand what slavery actually did to us and how much psychological trauma it did to us regarding what our proper roles are with each other, what our responsibilities are as man and woman in our various communities and relationships. We have never been debriefed from slavery. Not really. We have just, we know we had that history, but we don't know how it affected us. We don't know how much of our actual culture we lost, how much of our ideas were taken from us. We know that our religion was taken from us. We know that our names were taken from us, but we don't know how many other standards of day-to-day life have been removed. And while we have adopted the American way of doing things, they have not worked for us because we have a very special situation. We are not the same as everyone else. And a lot of the people who want us to pretend that slavery didn't exist or to forget about it, they've never been a slave. So they don't know what we're going through. They don't know what this has done to us. It has made us as Black women insecure.
Why not? If that's true, why not take up for us? Why not write something that says
we've had everybody to take up for us, and we've always had books about Black women, how great and how strong we are, and we are that. I'm just saying that we have used our strength in the wrong direction. We have used it against our men instead of standing up for them. And if we start to support our men and to speak a good word for him publicly, then so many people won't be able to come against him and tear him down. And he won't have to feel so frustrated, and he won't be outside away from us looking for peace of mind with women of other nationalities, because we actually want our own Black man. We need him back in our homes, and we want to have one. We're just living in a culture where they're trying to convince us that not only do we not need a man, but there's some other options to having one. And those options mainly are celibacy or lesbianism.
There's an old saying that says, charity.
Did you hear that? I had to stop it right there. All right, Regina, I know you heard that. No, you the first.
You know I heard that. You know I heard that. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, come on and talk to us, and then Rob and them gonna put their little spin on it.
Well, she killed me talking about that the women don't stand. They first of all, they said that the women nag the men all the time and all this other stuff like that, like you pushing the men away and different things like that. Now she just killing me on that one. I'm not trying to
disagree with that.
In the relationship, I do, because from my experience, it seems like the man is the one that's the nagger more than it is the women. They don't never let nothing go. I'm serious. That's just me. I'm one of those people who don't like to argue too much either. and you know, and y'all won't let a thing go. I promise you don't. We just, you know, we going through that even in my church. You know, the ones that ain't trying to let that go is the me. So,
Right.
But her sitting up there saying, you know, it's getting to the point where it's either driving women to either celibacy or lesbian.
Yep.
And now, I mean, what, in this day and time, it is a lot of lesbians. It's running around here, and it is rampant. I don't know where that comes from. I really don't. I don't know. I mean, because but if that's the case, then where did all the gay men come from? I mean, what pushed the gay men to be gay?
Oh, okay, we'll get to that. That's
okay. Where you know, and all this other stuff like that. So I don't know if that have anything to do with anything as far as that part. But her sitting here, I don't know if I'm in a unique situation to where the men don't. I mean, where I've seen more women stand up for black men than I've seen black men stand up for black women, and because we love our black men, we do. We do.
Y'all got a cold way of showing it.
Okay, so if we didn't, not trying to be funny. If we didn't, we would have all these black men running around here. Who is making these black men? If it wasn't for the black women,
right?
Oh no, now hold on, cuz.
Hold on, hey, Rob, Robert, Roger, we gonna get to it. Let her go ahead and talk.
I'm saying, but it come a time where you keep doing the same thing over and over again to get the same result. You get tired,
right?
So you keep trying to give them a chance to do whatever. Just like it's women running around here trying to be, you know, these city girls and all this other stuff. It's men running around here trying to portray the street guys too. They, you know, they run around here trying to put so many notches in their belts. They trying to do this and trying to do that, and they keep on. Well, they trying to be street guys. I didn't say they were. I said they were.
What is that? What is a street guy?
Well, some of the guys that they portraying in this music now, you know, music and in Hollywood now, as far as everybody's trying to, and they live in the suburbs. I've seen it go on. They live in the suburbs, ain't never had a struggle in their life, but then you can't beat them being in the hood. Every time you turn around trying to be the hardest person up in there. You know, we can see that from the these people who have a lot of money and their kids. Like, what's that? T.I. child. You can't beat him trying to be King running around here trying to be the biggest, hardest thing that's running around here. And he trying to do whatever he want to do to try to be the hardest thing he want to be. While he's sitting with a lady that's probably trying to do what she's supposed to do with him, but he constantly disrespecting her, doing everything under the sun, talking crazy, doing everything out there, just embarrassing the best out of her. And then want her to just sit back and just take that stuff. After a while, women get tired. They really do get tired. We want a black man. We want a black man to act like black men.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be funny, but we do. And y'all and men take these women and they do it all when they're younger. So by the time they get up to the point where, you know, I done had enough. I don't know what to do. We really don't want to go nowhere else. But then you kind of still crave some kind of partnership. And the black men ain't trying to get married. They're not trying. That's not the goal for them. Their goal is to try to have this baby mama and that baby mama. Instead of having a family unit. I'm serious. That is the thing. And the girls have really gotten to the point to where that's what they're adopted. You know, they know that they're not going to get a husband. So they sit up there fighting each other in the street. But that's my baby daddy. He going to always come back to me. I don't even know where that mentality came from. You know, to where that's all you're going to settle for is a baby daddy.
Right.
You know, instead of saying what my family is or what I want me to have a husband and all this other stuff, she know that all she gonna get is for some man to say he fathered my children and he shows up here and there for the duration of my child's childhood. And that's we should want more. We should strive for more. But if they want to be with a black man, that's kind of what they're gonna have to settle for, because that's what they're giving them.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate that information. Now, later on, I'm gonna ask you where you got all that information from. But anyway,
56 years. That's where I got that from.
From where?
56
From
years
experience?
of living. Yes, Lord,
Okay.
have mercy. Yes, I
All
have. And just seeing it. But from being a woman, talking to other women, seeing women, raising
Gotcha.
women,
I got you.
being a relative of other women and young women, and seeing what they're going through.
Right. I appreciate that. And we're gonna get the guys on here now. Rock Music, go ahead, and it's your time now to kind of see what you see as a man.
Man, I see a lot as a man, and Regina, she got some valid points, but a lot of it is far-fetched, at some points, because men do want to get married. That's really in our nature, to be a provider, to be a protector. You know what I'm saying? And what's not being passed down and what's not being taught to these young black women, like I said, the government automatically took these men out of the homes. So if a man is leaving behind a daughter or leaving behind a son, who's teaching his daughter how to be a wife if the government is already telling them?
But I'm sorry, Rod. I hear you, but how did the government take the men out the home? I heard this argument over and over again.
The government taking the man out of the home by saying child support, Medicaid, food.
But that means he already left. The government didn't take him out. If child support is being asked, that means he already gone. He left in the first place.
Telling them,
hold on, Regina. Let him get his out.
You will receive these benefits. We'll put you in a house. We'll put you over here. We'll give you this amount of income, but this man cannot be there. So now when they remove him and the woman is pregnant and saying, I don't need you to pay the bills, the government is going to do this. I don't need you to do this and do this because the government is going to do this. So now after they receive all of that, now the man don't want to do nothing because the government done stripped him and took his pride and basically telling him, and the woman done sided with the government instead of saying, no, I don't need that. Me and my man, we're going to work it out. We're going to go through the struggle and the ups and downs of parents, and we're going to raise our kids together, and we're going to do this. But the majority of the women are not saying that. Then that's when the child support take place. Now it's like, well, since you don't want to help me and you don't want to do this, I'll take you to court now. But the government has already promised XYZ in the future. And so that's how we get out the home.
Math ain't mathing. I'm sorry, it ain't, because how's she gonna get child support if you ain't giving it to her? And I'm not trying to be funny, but people who getting housing, men are getting housing with those women in their families. I have seen that happen. And if they start getting a check, they get but $100 and some. I won't see how you raise somebody. If you're gonna come over here and pay a fourth of my bills over $100 and some, especially in Texas, that's how much it is.
Miss Regina. Can we come back to that? Can you hold your peace for a few minutes?
That math ain't mathing. I'm just being honest. It's not.
I understand.
I'm just the messenger.
He's just giving his opinion.
I'm just the messenger. I don't know why it's happening like this. I'm not the government, but I just see the system for what the system is. That's all I'm saying. And what I'm saying is, when a lot of black men are broken, like think about when the government destroyed Black Wall Street. Do you know how many black men were millionaires and they stole the money and they stole their deeds and now they got to start from scratch? Do you know what that do to a man when you got to go home to your woman and tell them we broke and we don't got nothing? And a woman is not able to uplift because a man wants to be a provider. He wants to feel needed. He wants to feel like, say, when I walk into this house, my woman know that I was out here doing the best that I can do, and she appreciates that. But if no woman know how to pour that into a man because they wasn't gave that by a woman, because the system has already been broken, no, the man, no, why would he want to marry you? Why wouldn't he just want to get you pregnant? Like, what is he winning if you can't uplift him when he got to go out here and tackle the world? What is he finna come home to? Because he don't want to have to fight inside his house and fight outside too. Like, no man want to put up with that.
Right.
You got to give him a reason to come home. And if you don't know how to pour into your man, all you gonna be is a baby mama. All you gonna be is sex.
Right.
But like, you got to know how to pour into a man and make a man want to come home when he's facing these turmoil. And I'm saying, we want to be that protector. We want to be that provider. But when these SOBs and these white folks is doing us like this and stripping everything from us, and we got to go home and face our woman, and we don't want her to say, well, I know what I can do. I know what the government will do for me. I know that, and now you leave him high and dry, but this is the system that's been set up in place for years, and the women leave the men high and dry. And they do this for years to come. And so now, what do a man want to do? He not finna forget. Yeah, he gonna put on that smile and hold his head up and chest out and make you think he not hurt, but he's not gonna forget. So when that woman do him like that, all she did is made it worse for the next woman. He's not finna trust again. He's not finna pour in her again. He's not finna open up again. So now all that takes is, now here come the system of broken home, broken home, broken home, broken home. Because women are not being taught to pour into their man and uplift their man, especially when times get hard. They've been taught to pack up and go find you another one. That's just from what I've seen, in my opinion. I understand about the other young man coming from my home where he had his mom and his dad. My dad had his mom and his dad. But my mom and my daddy been divorced since I was 11. Like, I haven't had that many role models to see where parents are together 40, 50 years. Like, I haven't seen that. Like, I've seen the government and I've seen women go, like, dog men out and get what they can get out of them with no remorse. And so when men see that, we put a block on our heart. When we feel like we no longer need it, we just gonna sit on the back burner. Okay, all right. Sex, baby, gone. If you get whatever the government gonna give you and whatever I give you, I'm gonna give you. And that's how baby mama number 4 come along. That's just my opinion of what I see.
Baby mama number 4. Lord have mercy.
Okay, hold on, Regina. Let me let Roger get in here. Mr. Preston. Come on, Mr. Preston.
Nah, yeah. Man, I done forgot what the actual thing was. Because it's been a lot of building. We've been building off the topic, kind of piggybacking off each other. There's so many touchy topics, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to think. I'm gonna try to go back to Regina.
Do you need me to rewind it a little bit so you can kind of catch up?
Yeah, just a top. Like I say, it's so much has been said. Like,
well, okay, I'm gonna just say it like this. How do you feel about the structure of things? Regina feel like the men ain't doing their part.
I didn't say that. Did not say that.
And Rock feel like it's the woman, and the government, working intertwined with each other.
Yeah.
And you're not married yet. You finna make that step, right?
Yeah, I'm
okay. So, how do you see things between men and women right now?
Okay, I'm gonna just tie. There you go. Appreciate that. I'm gonna just come from this angle.
From your side.
Now I feel like, okay, so there is we're legit disconnected. That's how I feel. There is a disconnect. We definitely not where we should be as far as just our Black community. You know what I mean? I actually think that we're going in the right direction. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. We hear you.
Somebody had called in. I feel like we're going in the right direction in some ways. But as far as like, I think somebody mentioned baby mamas and baby daddies and stuff like that. It definitely is like the examples that we get. Uh, the household you grew up in. So it's very important, I think, for us to, wherever we at, to get whatever healing that we need. That way we can basically we it's like our personal responsibilities to kind of, what is it called, generational curses, to kind of break those generational curses, whatever
Yeah.
it is for your individual situation. It's like super important, you know what I mean? Because everybody not gonna necessarily be a king or be rich and
It's all
famous,
right.
but uh everybody can kind of got that opportunity to add to our black community by having a deep, creating a decent family. You know what I'm saying? And building on wherever you at. If you feel like you was born in the gutter, well then raise somebody that was, you know what I'm saying, at least the next generation in the alley. You know what I'm saying? If you was born in the alley, because these days, even if you was raised in the alley, you can still raise kids that go to college, or that get trades. You know what I'm saying? So whatever it is, we got to be on a scramble for the information that we wasn't taught from our parents. That's our that should be, or in my opinion, should be the goal. That should be what we're doing is trying to get for ourselves what we wasn't given. You know what I mean? To build on the generation before us. You know what I'm saying? But the family thing is of utmost importance. As far as, that's why I mentioned earlier, because of course Regina is my cousin, and so as far as when I said the incentive, I was alluding to what the brother was mentioning as far as the government is concerned. When I was in high school, a young lady just made up. She said this was what she was gonna do. She said she was gonna say RP got her pregnant. That's what I go by as RP. So she gonna say she had the idea to say that she is pregnant, and in the same conversation, the first time she ever mentioned it, she said, because it didn't go well, she said, "Don't worry about it. I'm gonna raise the kid by myself." My goal is to be like my daddy. I cussed her out so hard, I was so mad. And of course she was lying. Like, never brought it back up ever again. Lying. Like, just making something up just to have it. But the point is, she was 17 years old and already had the fact that she was gonna raise the kid on her own. That was already in the clip. Loaded in the clip.
But that was imputed on her.
Because she know.
Like, that was like somebody gave her that.
Yes, sir. She already know that she could get food. She gonna get assistance. Period.
This is what's being passed down.
And so they already know coming up now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, the damage have been done already. And that Willie Lynch syndrome is like to where now we set for hundreds of years for foolishness. Because they know what the situation is. So they know they got that background. There's no incentive for somebody to work it out or to make sure we get that understanding.
Right.
You know what I mean? And to have to live by a certain standard, because you really don't have to. If you want to take the easy route, or should I say that easy route is there for you. You know what I mean? And so, but there's a lot of things as far as the fellas. We gotta do our part. If the women, they slacking, ain't nobody teaching them, but didn't nobody teach us. And most of the time, women get the custody in situations like that. They end up, and some women that do well with their children without the man there, You know, that child is incentivizing them to grow and being more responsible. And when the dude is not there and with that sole custody, a lot of times he don't end up growing up. You know what I'm saying? He take him a little longer to grow up. You know, so and that's on him. You know, I've seen that a lot of situations like that. Oh, then I'm gonna touch back on the nagging.
Go ahead.
I bet when Cuzzo mentioned guys, I'm gonna take a word for it 100%. You know, there's no reason for her to lie about that. But as far as women nagging, I have female friends and they run men off, period. Easy. I'm telling, like, they run them off. Almost all of them get single is for a reason. I'm talking about women that's on paper. There's no good reason for you to not have a man. You got enough. The beauty is there. I don't know why women try to. You ain't got to run to get no BBLs. The women on 600, my 600-pound life, be married, be in
All of them got
relationships.
somebody. Every last one of them.
It is not about your looks. It's about you. Your looks supposed to help make it easier. Unfortunately, it's you. And you got to do that work. You got to do that shadow work, whatever you want to call that work, that therapy work. But we got to start just waving the white flag, though, to make a balanced statement. We got to wave that white flag as far as that man-woman thing and that war in our black community.
Facts.
It goes both ways.
All right. Well, we're going to... Regina, I know you're boiling over, so go ahead and you got any rebuttal?
What am I boiling over for? No, because y'all...
Man, I got a bunch.
Huh?
I got a bunch.
You got something to say, Rob?
Yeah, like what RP was saying, like kind of a little bit. Like I don't really feel like men are the naggers. I feel like what a man brings to the table and what a woman brings to the table. A lot of the back and forth from men and women come from if he's supposed to do his job as the man, as the head, as the lead. Like women tend to want to try to belittle them in public. You know what I'm saying? And get the last word and say this and the strong black woman and the independent woman and I don't need no man. A lot of the equal rights. Like back in the day, women was quiet. And like I said, a lot of that stemmed from being put on their mind like, I don't need a man. I don't need you for nothing. So once that start taking place and they start getting more cocky, more confident, you know, just being able to go into the military, being able to vote, you know, better jobs, better like once all of that start, like, and it's everything. Like that's what I'm saying. And so I'm saying like it makes it hard for a woman to listen to a man, especially if a man has been broken, he done lost the job, the woman got the better job and she's the breadwinner of the household. Like she's not gonna respect him as the head of the household. No. Like he's gonna get belittled. So it's like even when he's trying to take the lead and tell her something beneficial or like, but his nagging is coming from, I'm the man, do as I say. Like I'm the man, I'm your husband or I'm your boyfriend, and you know they'll look at him like, well, get a better job if you my husband, or do this if you want to be the man. When you want to be the man, pay the majority of the bills, pay the majority of the mortgage, or pay the. Now she's steady tearing him down and steady like. So a lot of the nagging, I feel like the man is trying to get his point across and trying to get the woman to see, regardless of respect me as the man and respect me as this. But I don't feel like the man is just coming off as being the nagger. He wants the woman to take accountability, and he's trying to press the issue on saying, you know, I want this in the relationship. I need this in the relationship. I got to have this in the relationship. If you're my woman, if you're my wife, if I'm your protector, if I'm your leader, let me play that position. But don't belittle me. And a lot of times, you know, that's what go on. You know, so I've seen a lot of that.
Okay.
So that's what I want to say about far as men being naggers. I just don't think that they nag like intentional like that. I think they be trying to get their point across because the woman is so headstrong because she haven't been. It ain't nobody telling them. Ain't no more grandmas and grandpas, you know, that's been together 50, 60 years telling a woman.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a bunch of people still like that.
It ain't me. Like, I only can speak where I'm from. My grandma 86, and my grandpa died when he was 50. So my grandma, like, I don't have my mom, not my mom. None of my grandma had 11 kids, so none of her daughters are like her. Like, even like, and I'm not saying that to belittle my own family. Like, I don't see a lot of grandmas and grandpas passing on how to be a husband or how to stick it out and telling these young men that say, man, there's gonna come some rough patches. Like, don't turn your back on that woman. Don't leave that woman because she done gained a little weight and she done laid here and had that baby and took care of you now. You wanted this child by this woman. You better do right by this woman. You better, like, you don't have a lot of elders telling these young men that. You don't have a lot of elder women telling these young women, say, don't tear this man down in public. Say, when y'all get to the house, tell him what he did wrong, but don't belittle him like this, and don't do this, and don't do this. Baby, you gonna run that man out to another woman, and he a good man. He getting up going. You don't have. You got women telling him.
Yes, she do. Because I've heard it and I've said it.
Well, I'm talking about Regina. That's you, baby. I'm saying that's what you do.
I've seen a lot of people do it, and I've heard it because I'm women and in a circle with women. I have seen it. I have seen it and heard
it. At the age of 17, your cousin experienced something at the age of 17.
I didn't say it wasn't out there. I didn't say it wasn't out there, but I said it's there and it's being said to some people. Some people don't want to hear it. They hard headed now. I'm not trying to be funny because the first thing they say, you know, we ain't the ancestors. That's the first rebuttal every time, and they not trying to hear it. They don't want to hear some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But in their defense, some of it is emotional defense mechanism.
Yeah.
They do that because they have been hurt time and time again over little stuff. You know, here it is. You telling this woman this thing and this girl, but then in her eyesight, she watching you do something else. You know, you doing everything that's contradictory to what you telling her that what's going to happen. And so in her way, she hurt, and she trying to save herself in a way that she's trying to say, look, you said one thing, but you over here doing another. Now that's not breaking nobody down. That's holding somebody accountable for what you told me and what you promised me and what you said you were gonna do, but you ain't doing it. And then the first thing y'all say, y'all nagging me now. No, you told me this is what, if I did this and this and this is what's gonna happen. But you're not doing it. He's not holding up his part. So it goes both ways. It goes a whole lot of ways, because when it's a man and the men may get together and say, this is what's being said, and I'm gonna do this and do that, and she ain't paying no attention to me. But then when it's a man and a woman, it's a whole nother conversation going on there. Otherwise, she would put up with some of the stuff, and he would put up with some of the stuff that's coming from her.
Okay.
I see. Hey, Rob, I see the disconnect between what you saying and what Regina's saying. And what it is you got two different men out there.
Yeah.
She's not talking about your type of manhood. She's talking about the other type of manhood that goes out there and do all the things that most men don't do.
What's
she's
that?
talking about
what
the other
that?
Type of man. The one that's not productive.
Oh. Okay.
That's the type of man she's talking about. And
is that most men? Is that most men, Frank? Is that really what?
No.
Yeah, that's what you said. Most men don't do.
Right. It's no. I said that it's the men like RP is a certain type of man.
Mm-hmm.
Rock is a certain type of man. I'm a certain type of man. And we don't understand when you say what you said. We don't understand that because we're not that type of person. We're not that type of man. We're
exactly.
productive.
Just like I don't understand nothing Rock is talking about. I have no understanding because I don't surround myself around those type of women, and I don't see that. And then when I do see it, and if I'm in place of confidence with those ladies, I do try to tell them something. But
Right.
I see it's a big cultural shift going on.
So
And-
that's what I'm saying. We're
But
all
this is this.
talking-
But see, but we talking. Okay, this is 91. Okay, in
Right.
91, I was in my 20s. I was on my second child.
right.
So this stuff was going on even then. We ain't talking about even when what's going on in these 20-year-olds that's running around here now that's having a good time and all this other stuff and don't want to hear nothing nobody got to say. We still talking about even then, because
Well-
in 91, she's talking. She would be somebody's grandmama right now.
Right. And she gonna go
And
into
she was
that.
telling it, and she was telling those young ladies that exact same thing, the exact same thing that everybody saying that ain't nobody telling them. She was telling them, and people was listening because that was a bestseller.
Okay. So check this out. When she's talking, when there's two different type of women that we got that we dealing with. Okay. There are women who go to work and be productive and contribute. And then there are women who don't do anything and just the ratchet type.
Sure will.
Okay? Now, you and Rob is talking about a man. You are talking about a fella.
In development.
Rob is talking about an alpha, what we call an alpha man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You talking about what's the other type of guy? It's not the alpha. It's the what's the other type of man?
A beta man.
A beta, yeah. So you may have dealt with a beta. Me and Rob and RP, we don't know what those guys are.
I didn't say that. I didn't say I only dealt with some beta men. I've come across some that was good. That's
I'm talking about,
and I've seen a lot. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me thinking. Don't have me up here saying that I'm bashing men. That's what's out. I'm saying what's out there and what women have gone across. Because if it wasn't that, it wouldn't be a high level of where it is people that get married. It wouldn't be a high level of divorce going on. So it is people that's trying to do certain things. They are trying this relationship thing. But in our community, it seems like as a culture, we don't value marriage like other cultures do. Yeah. You know, that's what they tell their kids. They tell their kids. And it's the thing, you know, that's what they want to do when they get out. They want to get up and have, you know, in these other cultures and other races and stuff, men want to have a wife. You go ask the young man, you gonna have some kids? Well, no, you know, I ain't trying to do all that, you know, and stuff like that. It's a whole running joke, and it's not funny. Because at some point you're gonna want to raise some kids without having a baby mom. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with having, you know, a baby mom, because things, you know, it ain't. I'm one of the ones, and Roger tell you, hey, I'm not staying with you because I had no baby by you. I ain't finna do it. If you ain't acting right, you ain't doing what you got to do. You gonna have to move around. And I'm not saying you not have to have money. You gonna have to have certain moral values. If you're gonna have to do something. To where if you're not exhibiting those certain moral values and your values shift, because people grow as they get older.
A lot of black women don't
change.
make it past the 5 years. A lot of black women, they're not getting into the marriage and saying, I'm with this no matter what, through the thick and thin. Like even in the video that we watching.
Right.
And the woman, she, like I said, I watched it, and she's even breaking down the fact that, like, why would you leave if that man cheat? Like, because it's been proven, and she's saying even in the film, it's been proven that black men, just men, period, haven't really just been monogamous in any kind of relationship.
Okay, but are you gonna leave if a woman cheat?
No, I done stayed with a woman and she done cheated on me before.
But that's just some people. Some people,
like,
they got it in them. I'm not trying to be funny, but they gonna have to. That has to be said. But there has to be something that's talked about before time.
But what
if you told this woman, you ain't, I'm gonna be with you, and I'm gonna be with only you, and then you turn around and do something different. That's where the problem lies. Now, if you tell them, baby, I'm gonna try my best.
A lot of the time, the first sign of trouble, women get up out of there. That's a lot of the stuff that done changed in marriage. That's why divorce is at an all-time high. They not sticking around for the better or worse, the sickness and in health. They just always want to stay for the better. But don't forget that vows say worse. Even in the Bible, even if you don't even supposed to get married again. If you gonna choose another man in the Bible, it said go back to your husband. You don't even supposed to get another. You don't even supposed to get another husband. If you do something, y'all can go separate. But if somebody else trying to propose to you, you supposed to go back and work it out with your husband. Is no one. They're not sticking in that for the worst part of the marriage. They getting the hell out of there. Them women getting the hell on.
And the reason why they didn't leave before because they didn't have no resources to leave. They would have left.
So hold on, Rob.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Rob, she said something true. Now, say that again, Regina.
They didn't have the resources to leave before because they would have left if they could have.
Okay, now let me show you what the system did. The system said, since they getting tired of being having us help them, we're gonna help them get jobs, and we're gonna give them promotions.
How y'all helping us get some jobs? I'm trying to figure this out.
I said the system. I said the system. Helping y'all get jobs.
So what? I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but ain't white women working? Ain't Hispanic women working? Ain't all these other cultures, Asian women working? But they stand with their husbands.
But check this out.
No, they not.
Let me show you what.
Yes, they are. Some of them are.
Let me show you how.
And if they ain't, they getting remarried. They staying there.
Let me show you how it work. What I'm trying to say, Virginia. Give me 1 second. Look, the system say, okay, she tired of being beaten on, or she tired of being in that house.
Your doggone right.
Okay, so she said, the system said, well, we need to give her another husband. All right, so they give you a job. The job become your husband, because that give you a mouth now to say, I ain't doing that yet. I got my own paper.
Exactly right.
Right? It gives you the opportunity to be rebellious, to have an attitude, to talk crap to your man, especially if he ain't doing things the way you want them done. Right?
And then now you respect the supervisor more than you respect your husband.
That's right. You don't go to your job talking crazy to your job. To your boss.
No, y'all ain't been to my job.
Okay. Okay, I'm just saying the average person, not the post office. Okay, the average person don't go to their job talking crap to their boss, right? But you'll come home and talk crap to your man because now you got paper. So that's what I tell every young man. You got to keep doubling your paper every time you get an opportunity. Keep doubling up. Because this woman, all she needs is one piece of double, and she got you. You're going to be under her control. And she's going to try to bounce. You know what I'm saying? So a man needs to stay on his paper all the time, constantly. If you don't, these women going to look at you and say, look what I'm doing, look what you doing. Okay?
Okay, I'm not trying to be funny. Okay, so I hear y'all when y'all say this money or whatever, right? Well, if both of them making enough money to take care of themselves, period. Y'all both equal. Why you just can't be a better man?
Men do try. Men are always.
No, I'm talking about in character. I ain't talking about in money.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
To the point to where, and both of them. And I'm not excusing women either. You know, because she has some accountability too. She got to be. She has to be a good woman as well as he got to be a good man.
Right. If you watch this video, it shows that the woman, okay, never changes. If you watch that whole video, the woman never changed, and everybody always giving her the ups. So it's like she don't do nothing wrong. Other women give other women the ups. Okay, they don't never say, "Hey, girl, you need to check yourself." Nobody checks the women. Nobody. Yes, they just go out and do what they want to do, and then come back like it ain't nothing.
Yes, they do. I'm telling y'all, I'm a woman.
It's 3 men,
and I done heard it.
It's 3 men on her. You can ask us.
Yeah, but y'all not in the room with women. Y'all not sitting up there and having conversations where there's nothing but women. We're not gonna let y'all hear that. We're not gonna let y'all hear us checking each other. But we gonna be telling it.
Okay.
I do. You know what I hear women saying to each other? You know when I hear women talking about, girl, I left him because he's such and such and such and such. girl, I went and did this. I went on down there to Miami because when I asked RP to look up, and get what the women say after that? Girl, you good. You shoulda. If he not doing such and such, ain't nobody saying, well, say, what did you do for RP to do that? Like, y'all women are not having conversations where they holding other women.
Well, I don't know what circle of people they are.
Not that level of accountability.
No.
I've heard it.
They not gonna say you shouldn't have did RP like that. That's a good deal. That man getting up going to work. You should have worked that out with him. They'll congratulate her to going down to Miami and get her back blowed out.
Right.
I've heard women give the stank face, the disapproval, and speak on loyalty. Speak on just being a cheater. Like another woman, they homegirl cheating.
Yeah.
I've heard that. Now, and it's
well,
it's like,
it sounds out like that now.
Huh?
It sounds out there like that now.
Well, I mean, this is the ratchet culture.
Well, and I'm saying, like, there's certain women. There's one in a little group that may be on some. I don't even like hanging with girls be cheating on their man, and she be there. They'll ostracize that woman because
they'll cast her out. They'll cast her out.
Yeah, but the thing is, as far as character outside of that, it's almost like sometimes women's whole thing of character is just on the fact that they're loyal and they not a cheater. But outside of that, it's almost like there's not much character development.
I feel like they're loyal to their feelings. I feel like women are loyal to their feelings. Whatever they feeling in the moment, like a lot of women are not going to be logical thinkers or put their feelings or their emotions to the side and then think about before they react. Whatever they feeling in that time, I feel like that's what women are becoming loyal to.
Like look at the show.
Like that's what they're gonna go with.
Okay.
Like look at the shows out there, the all the reality shows. Women 1,000 years old and not showing, still showing that they have not developed character.
Right.
Like across the board, but they're shown. You're not seeing like loyalty issues. You're not seeing that they cheated. It may be one of their husbands out of the pack on the TV shows. They might have cheated, but the whole show is based on bad character. That's the whole reason why there's a show.
Right.
So it's like I'm starting to see, like, when it comes to men and our character, we have to actually develop completely as adults.
Right.
And it's like a woman is a good woman if she'll be loyal in a relationship. But it's crazy how women are the ones who are designed to be a little more prone to being monogamous.
Right.
And loyal to the relationship in comparison to men, as far as when you think about all the reasons that's given, biologically, without the reason, why we end up seeing more men cheat or want to be with more than one woman, or whatever. So that's just something that I'm starting to see.
I just feel like
that's not a real development.
I just feel like that's the stigma that comes with men because they publicize our wrongdoing.
Right.
It's already being proven statistics that women cheat way more than we do.
Right.
That's just a proven fact.
Right.
Like women cheat more than men do. But women are in denial that they're that kind of woman because in their mind, they think it's okay for them doing what they done.
Right.
They're not putting logic aside. Like I said, men are protectors. Men want to be in long-term relationships. Men want to be married. Men want to feel wanted. But if you don't know how to pour into that man, if that haven't been taught to that woman, if that man haven't been taught to communicate that to that woman and let that woman know that this is what I need you to do for me. It's all about the communication. And that's where the line is being drawn. So ain't no man, and if a man don't know how to say, baby, don't talk to me like that. But what if she coming from, you don't get to tell me, now it's like, well, damn. You know what I'm saying? She could be beautiful, be smart, be educated,
I'm gonna say like this, just like these women doing, move around. I'm not trying to be funny. If she truly is that, if it's not coming from a point of hurt directly from you, and she's gonna talk to you that way, and you know that's something that's not gonna help it help you in any kind of way, and that's her nature, move around, because she's not gonna change. Right, I'm not trying to be funny, but and Dr. Ali said the same thing. She said it is. So you know, sometimes our worst thing that we do is put too much energy in something that's not gonna grow.
Right.
You're right.
And we spend too much time there.
A man problem is he think he can fix it. The man problem is with him being who he is, when you're really an alpha man, like sometimes we do leave, but men think we can fix everything. And that's mentally, spiritually, like if you find somebody that you're into and you see she's broken or she done been through something, you automatically think, I can change that. I can change that mindset. And we're willing to go through the turmoil, or we'll be the verbal punching bag for her to go through whatever she take that out on me, babe. Yeah, give me that. Get all of that out, because I'm finna fix you and I'm finna mold you into this. And so a lot of times we'll sit there and go through that for 2-3 years thinking we're breaking walls down and we're steady breaking barriers, but you're not really doing that. So we're being stagnant. So, but I'm saying some men feel like they can fix broken women. And
and that's not a myth. That's not a myth what he's saying either. There's a reason why they got that word, that phrase, make an honest woman out of it.
Yeah. Right. And we think we can fix them, and in reality they have to heal themselves.
Well, we
don't know that. Psychologically, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot, man. Us as men, we go through a lot. And all I'm saying, Miss Regina, and I'm not down some of the stuff that you're saying. But all I'm saying is majority of the women, probably 45 and under, they haven't been taught nothing. And I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying it's a few women, like if RP finna get married and he done found somebody that he's finna give his last name to, she probably one of the good ones. But like that man said, man, if 10 lions coming towards you and don't but one of them bite, is you gonna stand there and let out? Nah, you finna get the hell out. But I'm saying it's a lot of women that's looking like hoes, and we can't tell the difference between the real women and the hoes.
Right.
Because everybody got the same clothes on, got the same hair, got the same lashes, got the same, but they want the same respect as a woman, but you looking like a hoe. But you get mad when you come at you like a hoe.
Because the hoes is the ones getting all the attention, and that's the ones y'all go after and try to make a hoe out of housewife. How about that? So that's the whole thing. I'm just being honest.
But I'm just telling you from a man perspective, babe. Mm-hmm. Like that's really what go on out here from us when we looking at that. And like I said, RP might have done found the diamond in the rough, but I don't know what he done went through till he had to find that one. Ain't no telling how many broken women and disrespectful stuff he had to come across until he found that one. And sometimes men get tired and fed up, and they just don't decide they just play the game like the rest of them. Some of us get tired of looking and just decide to play the game.
I will put it like this: if y'all start being selective, it don't give. Okay, if you don't give attention to all that ratchet behavior, that ratchet behavior will die, because those women do want men. I don't know what kind of man they want, but they do want a man. So if they stop getting attention, their behavior is going to morph into whatever it is that's going to get them attention. If the attention is going to be a woman that's going to pour into a man, that's what they're going to start doing. But y'all give too much attention to all this ratchetness. I mean, because how in the world do somebody have 6 baby daddies? Different ones. I mean, because 6 different men that came over there, and it won't require nothing else from her but some doggone tail. And that behavior works for her, because as soon as she get through with a 6, when she working on the 7.
Okay.
If y'all stop giving it energy, it will stop growing.
And you saying the right thing there. I agree with you on that. We got to stop giving them the energy. We have to,
because it makes it hard on everybody else, because it is a lot of women. Everybody is not out in the streets. You're gonna have to go to certain places, and everybody not finding I don't know now. Put like this. Now, everybody not on the internet looking on online dating and all that other stuff like that. You're gonna have to actually look at a personality of a woman. Court these women just like the men used to do back in the day. He knew what kind of family she was around. He had to go around her and have respectable. He had to respect her first.
Okay, so
and not trying to be funny, she had to respect her first, and then if he came and respected her first, and she knew she wasn't that type of woman, guess what? She gonna move around. That's why it's always men in the friend zone.
Okay.
Because she knows she ain't about that. She ain't trying to do she ain't trying to do all that, and he gonna require too much from her, and she don't want to give it.
But guess what though? All right. Whatever she won't do,
somebody else do it. That's what I'm saying. Do it. Let somebody else do
it.
All right.
It's hard out here, man.
Let somebody else do it. I'm all for moving around. Don't get that much energy, get that time to somebody that ain't for you. I mean that. And that's for the men and the women.
Right. We got RP want to say one more thing before we end the show. We went over our hour already. Mm-hmm. So go ahead, RP.
Well, let me see. I'm trying to come with something constructive as far as solution. I actually have heard some solutions too, by the way. I would say first, before I do that, I still gotta blame. So I feel like when I want to blame something, I'm gonna blame. Well, I'm gonna say be careful. We gotta be careful with the music.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
When I think about the youngsters now, some folks that's older, the music then already got them. Music and social media, and I'm talking for the under 40 club. Grown but under 40. But the music, what makes a young man say, I think Cuzzo brought it up earlier, like, oh, I don't know about all that marriage stuff. Like, what makes it to where there's shame in wanting to be married, or to where there's this big hesitation? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, and that comes early. So I feel like that's nothing but people's parents ain't telling them to not get married. You know what I'm saying? If you was raised with a single mother, your mama may tell you, put you on game a little bit, tell you to be careful, but ain't nobody telling you not to. So what is it that's like feeding the distrust? And I'm talking about, that's like towards the guys, young men. It's the music.
I think
it's the same thing too.
My mama told me that though, RP. My mama told me that. Like,
don't get married.
My mom, like I said, when my mama got divorced, bro, like I said, I've been working a long time.
Yeah.
And so even with, like, and this is my personal opinion, me and my baby mama married. Having kids saved my life because my mom damn near was looking at me like the man of the family, or like I'm the husband, raising my younger brothers. And so what I'm saying is, when I got my baby mama pregnant, my mama was the first one, and I don't know if it was her trying to manipulate the situation, but my mama she just wants you because she got a job. She just wants you because she don't love you. She gonna put you on child support. She gonna da-da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, my mama didn't impute like, man, marry that girl. Make her honest woman out of her. Da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. I received a lot of that. And I'm just saying, me personally. And I know a lot of women that's in single that's raising men. Single women are not encouraging their sons to get married because they know how easy women are to manipulate other men to get what they want out of them. So they don't really encourage marriage.
Yeah, I can see that, and that still kind of goes back to where I was saying. It's not that there's a strict discouraging, but there isn't a encouragement from the parents necessarily, and that's why I was blaming. I want to get my blame game on with the music. Now I don't know. Now I don't want to speak too much about your mom, but people do speak out of hurt from
that's what it sounds like to me.
Now she could. To me, it sounds like two things. She might have just specifically felt like she thought she wasn't the one for you, or speaking out of hurt. You know what I mean? And you know, and that's with all due respect. And I don't see nothing wrong with that. If you know, if she just was saying, she ain't the one. She might have felt like she had an idea of what type of young lady she was at the time. And that's another thing while we speaking, like he was mentioning, like, oh well, we a certain type of man. Well, certain type of women get certain versions of us.
Yeah.
Right.
And when we young and coming up, we develop. You know what I mean? Like the same young lady that's ratchet right now, her ratchet may manifest itself into a couple kids, or her ignorance or lack of knowledge or lack of relationship skills at a certain age. But that don't mean when she's 30, she's not gonna be full-blown, mature woman of God. You know, or maybe when she's 40. You know what I mean? And hard worker, bring a lot to the table. You know what I'm saying? So we do develop over time. Now, by the time we develop, what do our situation look like? You know, that's all based on, you know, our personal walk, our personal journey or whatever. But I just want to throw that out there about that music, though. It's a serious thing, and I'm scared for the girls, because now we got all the girl rappers out. So the same way the music made dudes want to be hard in the streets and, you know, be anti-marriage, anti-building, we always had it to where the women wasn't getting attacked. And so y'all always have had a better platform to be healthy. And now y'all ass up.
Right.
Y'all up. They sacrificing the little girls now. So I don't, you know, that aspect of our community, you know, I think that's something to worry about.
Have y'all seen Megan Thee Stallion documentary?
I ain't seen it yet.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, when y'all get a chance,
check it out.
When y'all get a chance, watch it. You'll see where it's going.
It ain't looking good.
You will see where they trying to take this thing. And like I say, it's all conspiracy through the music too, you know. But
it's a whole thing, and it's just, especially, I'm gonna say, in the last 5 or 6 years, you know, Nicki Minaj, she was one of the ones that was just kind of out there by herself.
Right.
We did have Trina back in the day, but that was the stuff that you had to go to the store and buy.
It was a balance.
That was played. It wasn't played on the radio. Everybody had to have a radio version of stuff. You didn't get the real version. You heard that in the club. If you was the person that went to the club, you went to the club, or you went and bought it, and you happened to get in the car with somebody. But they censored their own self. Nobody have no respect for nobody. They playing all kinds of music. They playing Sexy Red and Glorilla and all that with the kids in the car. Uncensored kids singing every word to it when they 3 years old, making videos on TikTok. It's disheartening to see that.
You got the older women dancing to that stuff. What you think the younger girls gonna do?
But we had Trina, Fox Brown, all that back in the day. We had a balance though. But we didn't do it in front of kids. We had certain places and certain times that we had certain things that we had going on. Now they playing on mainstream. Everybody everybody don't listen to radio. They got their own playlist. They download their music. They hook it up to CarPlay, and everybody's listening to everything. It's nothing to censor anybody. Nobody got no sense. I'm not trying to be funny. Here it is. You put kids up in the car, and here it is. You playing the worst of the worst music up in here with these kids. And they know every word.
Did y'all see the video? Did y'all see the 2 videos where before Offset and Cardi B got the divorce? On one of her songs, she was like, "I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you, on the WAP."
Yeah.
Right.
But he showed the video, her in there sweeping and mopping.
Yeah. Right. It's all a mess. And see, their minds is not there to understand that this is strictly commercial.
It's entertainment.
It's entertainment for you to buy this stuff, and it sounds good, and it's shock value, and all this other stuff, so they gonna think that this is the way it is.
Y'all know I do music, so I really be listening. I really be listening because I'm really one of the guys that rap what I live. And I also
RP do too. RP have done. RP have too. He's
I was gonna tell you that. I was gonna tell you that, Rock. That RP get down too.
Man, that's what's up.
Yeah. But like I say, man, like I say before we end the show, back in the '90s, they was giving us thug life. They was giving us the thug, the hard boy, Tupac and them, right?
Yeah.
Now the new Tupac is Megan Thee Stallion now.
Nah, for real.
We got women.
Because if you listen to the radio, now, me and my brother, what was it, about a month ago, went to Windstar, and which is about an hour and a half drive. Do you know the whole way there? I heard Glorilla and 3 other songs. That's it. In an hour and a half, all of them was Glorilla. It was one guy that played, and then I think it was a couple of maybe Sexy Red and her crazy songs about We Go Together. But that was it. And that was the whole.
Glow showing out though right now. Glow cutting up though.
I mean, yeah, it sounds good. Don't get me wrong.
Glow
it
cutting
sounds
up.
good, but it's not a mixture of anything.
Right.
It's not
it's too derogatory.
It's too derogatory. You don't have anything. You don't have a balance. You don't have nothing. Nobody's talking about love at all. They're not talking about getting together. They're not doing anything.
Even what's that bright one name? What's that high? Even Lotto. Even on one of her songs, she just
Lotto. Her song was in there too.
I don't watch my tone. She just I'm loud like my weed. I don't watch my tone on niggas. So she already telling you like, I raise my voice. I got like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's a form of being disrespectful, and she's okay with that. And that's what she putting out to the young girl.
That's the music, and that's what's gonna sell. But
Gloria,
Hallelujah. She was raised Pentecostal, so that I mean, it's just the whole show. Everything is theatrics, but they don't know that. You can't convince these kids that ain't none of that real. You can't convince them because they swear up and down. Everybody that's on TV is rich. And they don't have to do this, and they don't have to do that, and they running around. You can't convince them that all that is fantasy. You cannot do it.
Like I say, the stripper is the new thugs.
Yeah.
That's what we been introduced to.
And when did that happen? When did strippers get some kind of front row seat? That used to be the secret thing. And when did the strip club become the regular club? When did girls start going there?
Hey, Ronnie and Ebony said sometimes you gotta use what you got to get what you want.
Oh, no, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I knew then when women was going to strip clubs,
man, on
just as hard as the men, I knew it was in trouble.
On a serious note, man, this is something that, you know, I got 4 kids. I got my little boy 6, but my older 3, they're from 20 up to 23.
Right.
And the whole time, man, even though, like, I'm not proud of my upbringing, but it's a lot of stuff that I didn't hide from my, you know, I came from a gang-related neighborhood. I came up pretty rough, but, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, having kids saved my life. You know, I done lost a brother to gang violence. I done been shot. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of stuff. But one thing I try to tell my kids, and I always let them know, you know, and I feel like this is the problem too. Like and I'm just saying this to piggyback on the music stuff, because it is corrupting the kids. And what I try to tell mine is, you know, and it's hard, and I let them know that the world don't love you more than I do. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I'm saying that because in reality, and this goes for relationships with your kids, with your woman, with your husband. All we got is these 4 walls, man. And I'm saying all we got is the house that we're trying to raise them in. And when we walk outside these front doors, man, and we try to tackle on this world, men are being attacked by women that want the wife spot. The women are being attacked by men that want the husband spot. These kids are being attacked by other kids with the music, with the guns, with the drugs, and it's hard when so many things, when the wrong thing look right, and it almost make you look like you're the one that's the liar.
Right.
When you're trying to provide the structure, and when you're trying to put your kids in the right place, so you're trying to talk a certain way to your wife, and you're trying to talk a certain way to your husband, you got so many influential people pushing the wrong narrative. And it'll corrupt the woman's mind, it'll corrupt the man's mind, and it'll corrupt the kid's mind. So I'm saying at the end of the day, man, the world, that's the hardest thing that we're up against, trying to convince the people that we love them more than the world.
Right.
You said the mouthful, right? You did. You said the mouthful on that one.
Yeah, and we're gonna end the show with that. And I appreciate y'all. And I appreciate everything being said. And this was a good show.
Yeah.
And I hope people take the time to check it out and hope they got something out of it. And I appreciate y'all. See y'all next week. I'll put out another, hopefully a banger this time.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, enjoy y'all. Y'all have a good night.
All right, now good night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good night.